In today's tutorial, we're going to do the bundle in blue blanket. This is a nice compact pattern available for children, and I'm going to be able to talk to you about changing the size of this if you wish to make this in any other size other than a baby's blanket. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the bundle in blue blanket, and this is a nice compact pattern, very easy concept in order to follow. Now this pattern is very similar to another pattern available on Yarnspirations, and I want to talk to you about the difference of that because there is a slight difference of the way that it works together. And the other blanket that we have that is very similar to this is called this one here. Okay, the regular baby blanket here, and there is a fundamental difference between the stitches that make it different. So in this one here, what we have is that we have open kind of stitch work just like you see here. Okay, and in the other one what we have is that we have similar stitching, but it's a lot more closed. So this is the difference between 1 and 2. So let's just cover what's going to happen within today's tutorial here. So in this pattern what we have is open shells, and the open shells kind of work together, and there is a diagram available. So if you like diagrams, this is the one for you here. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing open shells of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we immediately just single crochet. So and the other afghan that we did was open shells here, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, open shells. So that's what makes this pattern a lot more compact, is that it's sitting closer together when it comes to the stitch work. So what happens if you want to change the size? So the pattern on this one here is the repeating of 6 stitches plus 2. So no matter what you do for any kind of size, as long as you keep it in multiples of 6, and that at the end of your chain please then add 2. So we're going to be doing this today, and once we get started you can see that there's a repeat pattern here. So rows 2 and 3 are just a repeat going over and over, but let me show you how to get started to begin with. For today's pattern I'm going to be substituting with Bernat Little Tots here, or Little Tots and a 5mm size H crochet hook today. This is really quite a beautiful yarn, and it's really quite soft and meant for babies. So let's begin. The pattern is asking you to do a 3.5 size E or 3.5mm size E crochet hook today, which is very small, and the fingering weight of baby yarn. But if you don't want to use that kind of thin yarn and you want to thicken it up, then Bernat Little Tots is the way to go for here as well. So let's begin and start. Let's doing our chains. So if you're following the pattern as is, you can just do your chain 206. Remember that is fingering weight, so chaining of 206 will be a lot if you're substituting with a bigger hook and thicker yarn. So I'm going to keep mine in groups of 6 like I talked about, and remember the first slip knot never counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 2 groups, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you continue to do these chains in groups of 6 until you get to the size chain you want. So you can lay it on something else, figure out the dimensions, and then at the very end you need to add 2 chains in order to keep it in balance. Let's move along to row number 1. So let's move along to row number 1, and we're gonna count back second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, turn it over and get the back loop only, and I want you to single crochet into that chain. Once you get that first back loop of that chain, it turns the chain upside down. You want to skip 2 chains, so 1 and 2, and we're gonna do an open shell in the next. So it's a double crochet into the third one away. Okay, so you're gonna skip over 2. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So it'll be a total of 3 double crochets there with chain 1s that separate them. You're gonna come back down to the chain, skip the next 2, and single crochet into the next chain. So the repeat patterning on this thing is that you skip 2 chains and you double crochet and do your open shell in the third one. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Just like that. Skip 2 chains, single crochet into the next, and you're gonna continue that patterning going all the way to the other side. So I'm gonna continue here. So we skip over 2, go to the third, do another open shell, chain 1, just like this. And when you get to the very end you're gonna skip your final 2, and the final stitch will be by itself with the single crochet in the final, just like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like at this point. Let's move along to row number 2. Let's turn our work and go row number 2. So these open shells are gonna sit and nest within each other. So the next open shells will be in between these two here. There will be a partial on the outside and there will be a full one in between here and then a partial on the other side. So no matter what you have is that in between the edges there will be full open shells nesting in between. So to begin row number 2, and each time you hit row number 2, so repeat patterns are rows 2 and 3. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. This counts as a double crochet plus chain 1 and you're going to double crochet into the same stitch. So this is half of an open shell on the edge. So all you're just gonna do in the middle of the next open shell you're gonna single crochet in like that, and then we immediately start over here. So right where the single crochet is, right in between the two of the open shells, you're gonna open shell again. So just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet like that. Now you have your open shell here. The top one, the middle one will be 1 single crochet and then you open shell again in between in the next single crochet down in between. This is a very easy pattern to be able to remember and master. I think it's a lot easier than the other one. Now the top of the next open wave we are going to put in a single crochet and now we're coming to an edge. So you're gonna continue to go back and forth and you see how it's tucking into each other. So the very edge one here on the final one here, okay, the final stitch, there will be 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. So it's a half open shell on the outside just like this. Let's turn our work and go for row number 3. So row number 3 we're in between the nesting of all of the stitches. So we're in the top of one of the open shells. It's a half one here. So whenever we start row number 3 we're gonna chain up 1 and single crochet into the same stitch like this. So the next single crochet that's down here, okay, is going to be the open shell. So you're just looking to where all of the shells are resting into place. Okay. So now we're gonna single crochet in the top of the next open shell and then open shell again in between the space. Okay. And once you get that done, single crochet in the next top of the next shell and then finish it off. So you're gonna continue all the way to the other side and then on the very edge, which I'm about to hit, is always the same, as that there will just be 1 single crochet and to the chain 3. Okay, so chain 3 like this. So this is what it's looking like at this point. Let's turn our work and go back to row number 2. So row number 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the very first one. So this is a half of an open shell once again. Okay, we're gonna single crochet in the top of the next open shell and now you're gonna make it go in between. So the open shell is in the single crochet in between the next group. So it's just a matter of remembering how to start each row. It matters just where you are and where the open shells are sitting. Okay, single crochet in the top of the next open shell and then open shell in the next single crochet here. I think this pattern will go pretty quickly too. Even with this yarn, even with increasing the size of hook and thickness of this yarn, this pattern still remains compact, so it'd be good. So once you get to the final side, you're just going to double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet right into the final. And you're gonna continue to do that until you get to the size afghan that you wish. It'll create a really beautiful panel and this kind of yarn would look really amazing too. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a super day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.